Hey guys, so thank you so much for being here. Thanks for all y'all's love and support as always. I appreciate everybody. So this is meant to be a Sunday reading. Hopefully I'll get this out on Sunday. But I wanted to title this a little bit different. So we're going to take a look and see what Spirit wants to give you a heads up about. Okay, so a heads up from Spirit. I don't know how these are going to go. I'm excited to get into it. I also have a bunch of new tarot decks, and these are also new oracles. I went ahead and pre-picked to save some time, but these are called the Water Temple Oracles. So this is what I chose for pile 1 here is number 4. It's Aphrodite and Aries, lovers. I follow my heart. Pile 2, number 35, Lord's Baths, renewal. I am refreshed with the light of love. And pile 3. And y'all have number 29, Goddess Ron, fate. I catch a break. Okay? So, timestamps for everything will be down below. If y'all need it, there's always that meditation. You can pause it right there and close your eyes and just do a quick meditation. And when you open your eyes, after setting intentions, whatever you need to hear for your highest good, what pile do you feel most drawn to? If you're drawn to more than one pile, it could be that you may have a message in another pile, maybe a different storyline. It could be a different perspective that you're getting. It could be someone close to you and their message. Maybe you can give some advice there in some way. So keep all those in mind, keep an open mind, but be sure and also remember that if any reading I ever have done for you guys starts to make you feel any kind of uncomfortable way, and not just like in a triggering way, but in a very like I feel very upset kind of triggering way, always remember that you are in control of the reading itself. I'm simply a reader. We don't know each other. I'm here on YouTube. You're wherever you are, and I don't know your exact story. So sometimes when I don't obviously know your exact story, some of the message I can understand and see how they can come across as triggering. So with that being said, I'm going to just remind you that you are in control of this reading. You have the ability to click off, to click on, do whatever you need to do for yourself, okay? So never forget that. And yeah. So timestamps for everything will be down below, and I will see you at your pile. Hey, pile 1. So if you chose number 4, which is the Emperor in Tarot, the 4th house is also Cancer energy, which is about a sense of home, you know, safety, security. You have Aphrodite and Aries, lovers. I follow my heart. Okay, so with that being said, we're talking about a heads up here from Spirit, okay? Now, these two right here, Aphrodite is the god of beauty and love, and Aries is the god of war. And she was married when they were fornicating here. I think eventually they went on to have children together, but you know, it was kind of a scandal, them two being together. But they were also following their heart here in the same sense. Nothing could keep them away, you know. I believe that Aphrodite was married. I can't remember who to. I know it starts with the H, though. Anyway, and he ended up figuring out that they were sneaking together, and he ended up trapping them and actually putting them on display for other gods to come and see. And it's even through that, they still maintained a relationship together. Very attracted to each other, very fixated on one another. It's like they're in their own world here, right? Okay, So let's see what this is about. Heads up from Spirit. So I feel like we're obviously talking about a relationship here. So let's see why Spirit's trying to give you a heads up here about this. This could be something that maybe you're going into. It's new. This could be something you're already into. Okay, guys, sorry, I had to grab the deck from over there I left. So this is new, and it's called the Ocean Tarot, which I'm really excited to use. Okay, so let's see, what does Spirit want to give you a heads up about? What does Spirit want to give you a heads up about? Second time I've seen that. That is the King of Wands. That's Leo energy. What does Spirit want to give you a heads up about? You have the 8 of water, 8 pearls here in this deck. The 8 of cups in the reverse. You have the Magician. You need to be aware that there's someone here that has not walked away completely, and they may be trying to manifest something back with you. The Wheel of Fortune. This is somebody that wants an opportunity with you. I feel like this is someone that you're already aware of, because the Eight of Cups being here in the reverse is telling me that, like, this is someone that has the inability to walk away here. This could be you having the inability to walk away from something, trying to manifest a change in your situation. Why is the King of Wands here? It's the Empress. So this is taking control and wanting to someone either, okay, so take this how it resonates, okay? Someone's taking action here, perhaps towards an Empress, or this is just what they're taking action towards is growing something, wanting to invest, someone wanting to grow something here. This has to do with the relationship, okay? You have Taurus and Libra there. Wanting to invest, wanting to nurture something. Someone taking action towards that. Why is the Eight of Pentacles Why is the Eight of Cups in the reverse? The Nine of Swords. This is like when you have it's very, very difficult to go back to something and re-experience something emotionally, but like there's a lot of fear and there's a lot of anxiety around exploring something emotionally or going back to someone or a situation. Why is the Magician here? The Chariot, Cancer. I mean, I think this is somebody that's coming towards you. This is somebody that could be traveling towards you. This could be you traveling towards someone, but you're trying to manifest something here for yourself. And it has to do with moving yourself or moving the situation into a better place, like taking control of it. Using the resources that you have. There's the Queen of Wands that just popped out. So you have counterpart out that's here. This is another opportunity with someone. Okay, so let's, this is funny to me because this is fire energy, which you have Aries here, which is fire energy. So Sagittarius, Aries, Leo energy. But you also have this relationship here with the Aphrodite and Aries. And it's funny because it's coming up as the King and Queen of Wands. So the King and Queen of Wands they have this fire or passion for each other, where it sometimes can be destructive, because it is fire. It can be very passionate and heat you up, but it can also be destructive at the same sense. This is the couple in tarot that always have a tendency to come together and then come apart and then come together and come apart, because they are fire. it's when they come together and things heat up, it can get really heated. It can go to an extreme in the worst way, you know. So there's a lot of that's here. So this is somebody here that's going towards something they feel like would be very abundant or giving or nurturing. Someone that they feel like is embodying this kind of energy of beauty and love. The Empress is just like the Aphrodite. It's just, you know, it's about beauty and love. But there is a lot of stress and a lot of anxiety around going back to this, because I think because of an emotional investment here. So there's a want to use everything that you have, all your resources and all of what you've learned, to try to move this in the best possible direction. This is somebody that wants an opportunity here to, I guess, kind of show up or change. Giving someone an opportunity to do that is here. Tell me more about this with the King of Wands and the Empress, what they need a heads up about. The Page of Swords. So there's communication that's coming in here about investing in something. The Eight of Pearls in reverse, the Nine of Swords, the Temperance. There's someone here that's wanting to come in and balance the situation out. There's some kind of compromise that could be here. Sagittarius energies there. So someone that is worried. They have a lot of anxiety around this. Compromising and balancing out things. Why is the Magician and the Chariot here? The Fool. This is somebody that wants to start over. They want a new beginning here. They're taking a risk at doing whatever they can to try to make this move in a positive direction. Wheel of Fortune with the Queen of Wands. You have a Five of Pentacles here. So this is somebody that is in like this feeling like they've lost. They don't want to lose someone, or they don't want to lose something here. This is a feeling of missing someone. Look at that, with that big O. She is riding that shark. That's pretty cool. It's the Six of Swords with that Five of Pentacles. To me, there's this like someone that's trying to help someone else build confidence and being able to move on from something, or this is like an opportunity to turn something around and get out of this feeling of feeling lonely or in a lack mindset. Where does this go? The Six of Swords. Where does this go? Judgment. Oh, someone's going to be faced. I don't know who you are here. I don't know if you're the one that's taking action. Depends on if you're masculine or feminine, I think. What energy you're embodying at this time. Okay, so there's someone that's here that is basically coming in with a message, wanting to compromise, wanting to make peace, wanting to balance a situation out, wanting to grow a situation. There's something in particular this person may express with this Page of Swords, the Four of Swords, that they've reevaluated something, they've rethought a situation, how something was growing, possibilities here. They have a lot of anxiety about coming back around. but they're going to do whatever they can to turn this into a positive thing. And they feel like the reward is greater than the risk. So they're willing to put their best foot forward and do this. This is someone that wants to, like, this is someone that would say, I'll do whatever it takes to get this moving in a better direction. Can we start over? Like, there is this judgment call that you will have to make. And I think that listen to your intuition about this. I need one more card for that. 5 of Pentacles. The 3 of Cups. This is somebody that's missing a relationship. A companion, a supportive person. This is a feeling of lacking that support. This is something I think that you'll have to move forward or get past in order to have this renewal with Judgment, is this sense of emotional security, having that supportive energy and feeling like this is something that someone will need to have in order to move on. Like, this is the issue here. This is the root of, why is that the root? It's the Queen of Pentacles. The only thing the Queen of Pentacles doesn't have, she has everything she needs to survive, to thrive, to enjoy her life. The only thing that she's missing without her king is emotional support. It's something that no matter how many amounts of pentacles that she has, or time or energy she has, she may not have that emotional support here. This is what she's lacking. So this is what somebody's wanting to gain. They just want to have this companion. That 3 of Cups. Yeah, the High Priestess. So this is a special kind of relationship. Because this feels like a very intuitive relationship that you have with somebody, where you feel safe. The Queen of Pentacles. And this is what someone has been missing or lacking. And this is wanting to get to a calmer place here when it comes to that. In other words, I want to feel that partnership, or I want to feel connected, or I want to feel safe with someone, you know. Look at that. There's our king. This may be a mutual type of thing. So this is kind of like a goal, if you will, between two people, is getting back to that place where you feel emotionally secure and safe. This is like a commitment. Okay. What has been the reevaluation with the 4 of Swords? Off the table. It's the 2 of Wands. Or, yeah. Off the table. There's a decision here. Being at a crossroads, making a decision here. So this is someone that's been reevaluating the decisions that they've made, the directions that they've taken. This is what they want to talk about. This is also about making plans. So this is like a message to make some sort of plan for something. There's the Page of Wands. Okay. What else do you... So there's this... This can also be like a news coming in about someone wanting to make plans here about reevaluating the situation here with you. This like has to do with a conversation. Yeah, there. Queen of Swords. The cards are funny. It's a new deck. It's very in tune here, I feel. Ready to go. You have this Queen of Swords that popped out when I said that. So that's definitely someone wanting to have a conversation. Get to the bottom of something and see if there's this feeling of being able to overcome that. Getting back to feeling emotionally secure or safe. And this renewal, strength, Scorpio and Leo energies, and the Hierophant. There's a commitment here to, there's a choice. There's choice on the table. This is a situation where someone is wanting to basically like start over or rebuild. And there's this choice that needs to be made around this about whether or not you can move on or find that's the way that you felt. Like maybe once you felt at one point you felt emotionally secure or safe with this person, and then that changed. This is like, can you get that back? And if we can get to this calmer place, then this could be something that could really make this commitment here strong, to where you both learned your lesson together and things became stronger, and you have this fresh, new, renewed energy here. But, you know, this is a possibility of what could happen. Depending on the circumstances, you may not all choose this direction. Right? I mean, we have free will. This is just a heads up. I landed on the Six of Cups. So that's soulmate energy. I feel like that this is a connection or a situation, like I said before, with the King and Queen of Wands. Where you may feel very familiar with this person, or you feel very connected to this person. This is maybe someone that has been, you've had lifetimes with, or you share, have shared a lot of your life with this person. Okay. All right, let's get some advice. Let's just go straight to advice. I almost second guess that, but change of mind. Let's just go straight to advice. These are supposed to be short messages, so I'm going to keep them that way. I have a whole nother reading that I'm doing currently over on my membership channel all about your person. So I just wanted to make sure I get something in here for Sunday message. What advice do you have about this for this heads up for pile 1? They are the one. That's pretty bold. That's pretty bold. You've already met the romantic partner that you seek. Let go of the need to control. Allow the situation to unfold naturally. Patience. Some things still need to be dealt with for this connection to manifest. That's what I talked about here. And true love is at the bottom. I mean, This is a romance of a lifetime. True and lasting love is here for you. Let's get an overall message. Let's bring this back down to earth here. I feel like these are some very romantic, like romanticizing the advice, basically, and which I don't entirely agree with, because I feel like if you're listening to this reading and this is like a really rough or bad situation, or definitely was anything that was abusive and whatever, obviously that's not something that you want to reconcile, right? And at least maybe just reconcile with yourself and move forward. And so everyone has free will. So when we talk about these cards, like, yeah, they're the one, they're the romantic partner that you seek, blah, blah, blah. Keep in mind, your situation may differ somewhat from this. And this could all be just you just having this inner knowing and being able to reconcile this. Okay. Depends on what you've manifested. Depends on what you want. If this is someone that you've wanted, like, man, if there was a way or somehow we could work this out, and this is what you've been desiring. Or if this is someone that you're like, you know what, that's just not ever going to happen again. I don't want to have anything to do with that person. They're horrible or whatever. So, free will. What advice do you have for pile 1? All in perfect timing. This is the number 1. Says, this is it. It's time to take action now. I'll be here to help you every step of the way. So there's your advice. All right, let's get some initials. Powerful reading. The cards there's so much major arcana here. This is something significant that could shift. You have the back and forth here again. Soccer ball, playing games, going back and forth. Love yourself first. Yeah. If this is something that's just been repetitive over and over and over, you have to figure out where you sit with that. And, some of you, you're like, I feel like it's worth it because it could be this way. That's the thing here. I feel like in a lot of relationships, it can actually, if you're really truly able to work through the differences, if there's something you're able to reconcile, and work through the differences and both understand each other, it can turn into a great relationship. You get more in tune with one another. You get more in touch with your internal strength, and you play off of that with each other. You can grow the relationship and build it stronger and stronger. Just like training in a session. But sometimes that's not always the case. Sometimes we fall short. Sometimes, we can't agree, or we're just in two different places, or life happens, So you have to be able to understand your own personal circumstances and where you sit with all that. But this is just a heads up. So this is what's coming towards you. So be prepared. We have 3 Ds. We have a Y, an H, a G, an R, a Z, and an N. Okay? All right. I'm going to leave you here. So thank you so much for being here. Thanks for all your love and support and kindness, of course. I hope this helps. Good luck to you guys with this, and I hope to see you soon. Bye. Hey, pile 2. So if you chose number 35, Lord's Bass, Renewal, and I am refreshed with the light of love. Okay, so for me, this card is representing, we're talking about, well, there's a couple things. Let's think about what we're talking about here, which is a heads up from Spirit, okay? And if you notice in this card, she has tears in her eyes. She's wearing a veil like a bride would, and she's holding her hands out with water in her hands. There's, the Lord's bath here is representing like a spiritual cleansing, with renewal. I am refreshed with the light of love. So I feel like a heads up here would be perhaps having some sort of like complete renewal when it comes to love in your life, love that you have for yourself. It's like you're looking at how to love and even how to love yourself through the lens of a different experience, maybe perhaps from something that you've just went through or you've healed from. So there's this feeling of feeling renewed. And with this feeling of renewed, it's like you have this emotion that you want to offer or give, but you may be in a place to where maybe you don't have anyone to share that with, or you feel like you're just, you're holding your hand out waiting, or that maybe you're offering it to someone that doesn't want it, or you feel like you're just in a place to where, that hasn't happened for you yet. And there's a sadness to this, but there's also this feeling of, in the meantime, or why you're waiting, there's this like renewed kind of feeling that you feel within yourself. And I think at this time you may be more focused on the sadder part of it, of the renewal, than the actual like new energy that you're getting, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like you're releasing some things still here from your past, or it's just simply the emotions that you have for where you are and what you've went through to get to this point. And I think for some of you, you may want to move ahead or want to move further than where you are. But I also feel like it's very important. I think that's part of the heads up from Spirit here, is that it's so important for you to be where you are at this time. Okay, so we're going to jump right into the tarot, and I'm excited because this is a brand new deck, and it's very cute. This deck is very cute. It's called the Tarot of Little Lyra. Tarot of Little Lyra. And you'll see why it's so cute in just a minute. I do feel like this reading is going to be self-focused when it comes to this heads up from Spirit, but let's see how this goes. So pile 2, what is the heads up from Spirit for pile 2? What do they need to know at this time? What's the heads up from Spirit for pile 2? What do they need to know at this time? The heads up from Spirit for pile 2. We have the 5 of Cups. There's that sad energy I was talking about. You have the 7 of Pentacles. You have a King of Cups here, Scorpio energy. You have a 4 of Cups. There's that other sad energy I was feeling. And the Chariot, Cancer energy there. So what are we seeing so far as a heads up from Spirit? Well, there's a huge indicator here that despite the way that you're feeling and how you're on this kind of like emotional journey on a search for love, whether that's love for yourself or love for like you wanting love, I think there's a part of you at times that go back and forth. You have this is kind of what I'm feeling here, and that's kind of why I laughed for a minute. You can tell by these cards, if you look at her, like she looks like she's just going on a journey there. I saw 444 on the timer, which may be a number you've been seeing a lot of. It's a number of protection. Despite you may not wanting to be where you are, you're still in the place that you're meant to be as far as a level of protection goes, or you are being protected at this time, and that's why you're in this space. But if you notice in all these cards, which by the way, I don't guess I don't know if my camera's off. I feel like these are not straight, and that y'all know is gonna just drive me nuts because I have a slight bit of OCD, which apparently is more than what I thought it was, because a friend of mine is a Christian preschool teacher, and she needed help with her organizing her room. She's got a small disability, so I always step in and try to help her where I can. And she pointed out, I could have got so-and-so to help me, but I like for you to help me because you have OCD. And I always feel like you really pay attention to things being in order, and if something's crooked or off, like she said, I'm that way too, so I know you'll you'll do the best. I'm like, well, like thanks. um, so I guess that is a good thing at times, frustrating at others. So, but you see these cards and the journey that she's experiencing here. If this was a journey, here she's sad, but here she's hopeful. Here she's hopeful. Here she's sad. And here she's hopeful again. So you may feel like your emotions may be somewhat of a roller coaster, where you feel like you have something figured out and you feel good and you feel like you're in a good place. And here we go. And, you know, and then you end up back sad again, or you end up back in a certain kind of feeling again. This Five of Cups, and you notice that she's fixated on these three nests that are here, which means, the way she's looking in them is that something did not unfold, something didn't work out for you in the way that you anticipated for it to. And there's a sadness around here. There's a sadness and there's a loss that you feel. And when you think about this, you go from that to that Seven of Pentacles, where you start to feel somewhat better, and you continue to kind of keep investing in yourself, and you pull yourself out of that, and you're kind of patient with yourself, you're graceful with yourself, you're allowing things to unfold. And then you start to feel emotionally stable here, this King of Cups energy. You start to feel like you have yourself or everything under control. And then you go back down into the Four of Cups, which is where, again, here she's sulking on these three cups that are in front of her. And the thing here, and part of what Spirit's wanting you to see, is that when you are fixated on these three cups that are here, and not that addressing those emotions isn't important, it's just sometimes, like the Four of Cups is whenever we're sitting and kind of more thinking about how things didn't work out for us, that we're not looking at the fact that we still have opportunities for things to work out for us in the future. Like there's still this opportunity that could be right there in front of you, and if you are too fixated or focused on what you don't have or what you lost, you're not going to see the opportunity when it comes in for what it is. And I think this is the heads up that they're giving you, because you have the Chariot here. The Chariot is about getting yourself into a position to where you feel in control of your emotions, you feel in control of the direction. How do we control our emotions when we're in like a sad energy, or we keep kind of going backwards or thinking about things? We control the direction, our direction of those emotions, directing those emotions towards what will benefit us and not hurt us. Not thinking about, always make sure, especially too, when you're thinking about a past relationship and a decision that you may have made around that relationship. And don't fixate so much when you do get into this Five of Cups and this Four of Cups, where you're focused on all those good times that you had together, all the possibilities that you could share, the things that you planned on doing that never came about, the experiences that you loved, those intimate moments that you cherish that you'll never have again. Stop fixating so much on that. But also, if you have a thought of that, make sure that you also include why you ended up in that position to begin with, or making that decision to begin with. So for every, moment that you may have shared in that way, you can equally match that with a moment that was not a good moment that you experienced with that person. You have to make sure that you're remembering not just the things you miss and the things that were great, but you also include the things that weren't so great. Because, we can find ourselves back into an unhealthy or toxic relationship or pattern simply by reminiscing and exaggerating on the experience that we had and how good that was. Because when we're sad, that's what we're sad about. We're sad about what we lost. It's like if that person would just be X, Y, and Z, then everything would unfold the way that I wanted it to, you know, but that's not realistic, and that's definitely not what happened or what you experienced. There's a reason that you're where you are, and there's a reason that you made the choices that you did. And this doesn't have to be around someone else. It's just that these are the cups. So it was something emotionally that you are still holding on to. But again, the Chariot is showing that you have what it takes to be able to pull yourself completely out of this. And I think you're doing a good job. It's just, you may have some setbacks here, and this feels very much so like a personal reading that I just did a few days ago. And I guess it was something that I was addressing in the reading that she has identified herself that doesn't get talked about, I feel like, enough when it comes to when we're trying to emotionally like detangle ourselves from something that we're having to leave behind, and how difficult that actually is when it comes to the memories and the loss and the disappointments and working through that emotionally. I think especially in the spiritual world, we all like want to talk about how, you know, we focus on yourself and bounce back and doing this and that and stuff. And then when we find ourselves like bawling our eyes out one day and we just uncontrollably, and we have a really hard day or tough day or whatever, we seem to be more down on ourselves. And I don't think that that's fair. And that's definitely not showing ourselves grace at all. It's a process, you know, you have to work through. Flowers don't even bloom without water. You have to be able to go through those emotions and feel those emotions and feel how you feel about the situation in order to be able to finally make peace with it. So it's equally important to have those setbacks, because working through those setbacks is where you gain your strength from to begin with. Okay. So why is this a heads up here for pile 2 with that 5 of Cups? This is definitely a spiritual bath, that's for sure. Look at that. Ace of Wands. There may have been something here that you were just really excited about. You know, you're really hoping for, felt really passionate about, that became a disappointment. The 7 of Pentacles. The 4 of Swords. Some of you may be having some significant dreams. Giving yourself a break and taking a second. I think for some of you, you may have an opportunity that pops up. I don't know that this is romantic. I think this may just be an opportunity to do something maybe a little bit outside of your comfort zone, something fun, explore something new, do something different, get out of the house, get out of, you know, that routine that you're in. Just kind of like get that spark back, especially if you've been in a place to where you have been kind of sulking in that 5 of Cups. Again, it's just like what we talked about here. This opportunity may pop up and show up and be there, but if you are in this energy here and you're not able to take control of it and get yourself out of it, you could pass this by. And this could help you in a tremendous way. Tell me about that King of Cups. The Ace of Pentacles. There it is again. That opportunity. Give yourself also the rest that you need. If you start to feel very tired, rest. But also know when you've had enough rest. I don't think you're there. I think that you're in this 4 of Swords where you're just trying to be patient with yourself. You're giving yourself the proper time that you need to overcome this sadness or this loss. Or when you do have a setback, you give yourself that proper time. Console yourself, you know, and make sense of things before you just move forward. Some of you, there is this opportunity here. This is like an opportunity to have like something grounded, something committed. So for some of you, this could be a night out. You know, this could be a date here with this Ace of Pentacles. Something grounded. This could be an opportunity to invest in something emotionally or find this emotional stability. Something that can bring towards you more groundedness when it comes to your emotions. The opportunity is there, okay? So whether that's a person, a place, a thing, whatever it is something that it's saying that you have the capability to be an emotional good, secure, and well-balanced place to take this opportunity and make something out of it. And it's coming towards you. It is there. So basically, like, this is a heads up from Spirit to try to get you in the right energy. Why is that Four of Cups there? The Queen of Swords. There's an opportunity here, too, to speak up for yourself. This is an opportunity to speak up for yourself. Also, to get more in your head to where you're looking at something realistically. You're thinking about more of the possibilities than, like, you're looking more at what you'll be gaining from something instead of what you'll be losing. And I think that's really significant here. Why is that Chariot there? Some of y'all, this is like an opportunity to do something as far as like an entrepreneur type thing, or a opportunity for something to do with your career, a move, you know, like this could be a financial or a material type of opportunity that's here as well. And you're needing to get into your more business mode or business state of mind to where you're looking at this realistically, and you don't let your emotions get caught up in it, because it may entail like you having to make some changes. So having to more let go of whatever it is that you're moving on from. It could affect you even creatively. Why is the Chariot here? These cards, I'm picking them instead of letting them fly because they're so thick. They're a heavy card stock. So you have Justice here, Libra energy. So with the Chariot, 7-11. So Justice is here. You have the Three of Wands that's there at the bottom. So definitely you have this future energy that's coming in. Something that you've been waiting for is here. It's on the horizon. Something that you've been lacking, that you've been missing. You're taking a new direction here, an opportunity to take a new direction. But it's telling you, don't deceive yourself here, you know. Don't allow yourself to make you feel like you don't have courage or confidence, or you're not brave. You have the capability to be able to move in this direction to where you could really make something happen for you here, to where you maybe even capable of giving yourself future security, future safety in some kind of way with this opportunity. But if you stay too much in the emotions of anything here, it will take away from this opportunity that you're getting. And you don't want to deny yourself or sabotage yourself. It's telling you to take advantage of this here. Some of you, there's an anticipation here. So some of you may have been expecting this. This opportunity here that's coming. Let's get a little more into it. Tell me a little bit more about that Ace of Wands with the heads up. The Empress. Growth and expansion, an opportunity to grow and expand. But you have to let go of something. You have to release the idea of something or some sort of disappointment here. Why is the Four of, or mistake? There needs to be forgiveness. Something like that has to happen here. Why is the Four of Swords here? The Hermit, Virgo energy. Doing some deep introspection, thinking about the long-term vision that you have, reevaluating what this would look like for you, what it can do for you, with the situation, with this person, whatever that is, that's opportunity that's here. What could it do for you? You're looking at the benefits of this, the long-term investment, and it may take a lot of time. It may take some time. But it may very much well be worth it. Ace of Pentacles, the Seven of Cups. So it's like you have an opportunity that comes along with other options. Like with this opportunity, you'll have more options available. This could be with someone. This could be a romantic. This could be a partnership. This could be a different location, a different community, a different environment, a different career, different place of business. You know, I don't know what this is, okay? But with it, with the opportunity, it's more grounded and it gives you more options than where you are currently. Tell me about the Queen of Swords. The Ace of Swords. This is like you're gaining some sort of truth here and understanding about where you are and what you've had up until this point and what you want. You're just needing to, you'll need to take action around it in order for it to happen. And you have to be in the right mindset to do that. You have to take the action. Yeah, the Moon. There's the mindset. Pisces, Cancer. You have to believe in yourself. Eight of Wands, there's the action. 1818 could be relevant here as well, or 888, which is the number of abundance. This is, you have to overcome your fear here and take action towards this. See, if you're thinking about how something especially didn't work out in the past, it will put you in a place to where you're hesitant to take the opportunity when you see it. Either you overthink it, or you're afraid of it not being real or realistic, or it's just being some sort of it may be a illusion of some sort. But if you're in a well-balanced place emotionally and you believe in yourself, you believe that you can make this happen, you believe that you can do this, then you can do it. But you have to believe in yourself and you have to overcome that fear. This reading is interesting. You have a Knight of Swords. That's taking action. See, look at her in this card. The Devil's under that fear. You have to overcome that fear. look at this Knight of Swords. She's riding her bike, but in the shadow, she's a knight. She's on the horse, and look at how she's looking at herself, you know. This is taking action. You may be facing your fear here in something in order to because you're the curiosity here, Page of Wands, the Page of Cups, and the High Priestess. You're following your gut feeling here, this inner knowing that this is something that you need to do. And you have to overcome your emotions. You have to let go of the past and give yourself some grace here. Give yourself some compassion and open yourself up to something that could benefit you greatly in the future, and bring justice here to the table. But it takes this action. You have to make the move. You'll know when the opportunity comes. You'll feel it intuitively. You'll be like, I need to make a move. I don't know why I want to get the Kipper cards, but let's do it. Tell me about, what is this opportunity? Let's do that. You have the Lovers. So for some of you, this is a relationship or something that you feel like aligns with you in some way. It doesn't have to be a relationship. It's just something that you feel like is right for you, meant for you, or aligns with you. Feel good about, you know? Yep. Adjudication. You have to make this judgment call here. You have to make the move, like I talked about. And you have marriage here. And this is about a commitment. Okay. So what is this? You have gift here. So there's this opportunity. There's the gift. Number 17, Aquarius energies, I believe. So if you believe that you can have it, you can have it, but you have to take the action to get it, to go towards it. The opportunity is there. You have to make this judgment call, and commit. Interesting. Okay, let's get some advice. And then we'll get some initials. I just saw no rush, which is that 7 of Pentacles and 4 of Swords for me. I don't think that you're going to be like pushed, but I think that it's, yeah, you definitely want to act on this. I mean, you have 3 aces on the table. What a sudden shift. It just came out suddenly. And it says, number 6, your current reality is shifting towards something very different from what you had anticipated. It will be for your highest good. Yeah, you weren't expecting this. You were not expecting this. Early stages, number 67. You're still in the early stages of growth, but the long-term outlook is strong if you keep nurturing and engaging your talents. So continue to be focused on what you're doing. It's taking some time. Maybe that's why you've been disappointed. Keep going. We have 10, renew the heart. A relationship in your life needs renewal and attention. Reconnect with the one that you love and recall what was first brought you together. Okay, not everybody's story, but this is something that I felt, and now I feel like I need to say it because it just called me out. I feel like for some of you, there may have been a situation that you've been going through with someone, or just that you've been going through, you've been getting over. It doesn't have to be romantic. It could be any relationship in your life, but it has some way or another like affected your ability to, you know, live your life, basically, like do things that you need to do. It's like maybe your mind keeps going backwards. I do feel like that this may be a relationship that somehow or another works itself out. I don't know how that is because I didn't get too far into it, but there is, you know, opportunities coming. So maybe an opportunity to work something out there is there. With this renewal, or with this attention to this this reconnection here, you fall back into alignment in some way, and then you see other things in your life start to align as well. Okay, that's not everybody's message though, but for some of you, you'll know if that definitely is your message. Let's get an overall card and then we'll get some initials to close. Okay. What overall message do you have for pile? Look, open your heart. Number 22. No one is perfect. Stop judging yourself and others and let love heal the situation. So there you go. There's definitely like a cleansing that's here for sure. You're going to feel, I don't know when you get this reading, and it's timeless reading. Whenever you get this reading, I'm telling you, you're going to look at yourself in a few months from now and think you're in a whole different spot than you were. In a much better place. So you have a heart here again. Look, you have a message here coming in from somebody. Or communication. There's a communication around feelings or emotions that are here. We are what we believe we are. No kidding. I talked about that so much over here. And what you're capable of. If you never try, you never know. There you go. Those are perfect charms for your reading. We have M, E, me, C, Y, G, 2 L's, a M, a B, or a W, I guess, an O, and a Q. Okay. So you can spell bell in the bowl, and automatically in my head I started singing, you can ring my bell. Belly is there too. Like a gut feeling could be something that's here. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it here. Melody. I know we don't have all the letters, but thanks so much, guys, for being here. Thanks for all your love and kindness, of course. And I hope to see you guys soon. Bye. Hey, pile 3. So if you chose the Goddess Ron, number 29, Fate, I catch a break. So with I catch a break, the Goddess Ron, she is the goddess of the sea, and she actually uses her net to pull sailors to their fate. And it's on her discretion. So fate is why that says fate here is because of that. I feel like, so we're talking about a heads up from Spirit, okay? So if Spirit could come down here and say, hey, I'm going to give you a little heads up, okay? What I feel like it is for you guys is you may have a chance of fate or luck is on your side here when it comes to being in a particular place or path. You may be going up against something that you feel like is very big compared to like a very big accomplishment or a very big challenge or something that's very significant that you'll have to overcome or work through. Whatever it is, I feel like you're going to catch a break here. I do feel like fate is on your side. But that doesn't mean it won't be challenging. Okay, so with that being said, let's get into this and see what else we can pull from this exactly. Okay, so first, I'm just going to start pulling the tarot. Okay, sorry guys, I had to pause for a second. I had a deck that I had picked for y'all, and for some reason, I don't feel like it connected here for your reading. So I went to my cabinet and I sat there for a second, and then I opened the door and I saw this deck and I was immediately like pulled in towards it. So I'm going to use it, but this is like way off from what I was going for here as far as this reading goes. This is the This is the Everyday Witch Tarot. And this deck I've had for a very, very, very long time. So I don't know what that's about, but we'll see if there's some sort of image or perhaps something that stands out in this deck that makes sense to you, or maybe you have this deck or something. I don't know. So let's just see here. Give it a couple more shuffles though. We want to know about pile 3. What do they need a heads up about? So this has to do something with fate is on your side. This is the heads up, really. You're going to catch a break here, but I feel like it involves, like, you still have to go through some stuff. So, okay. And there's the Hermit in reverse. Can I help you?
Do you know
They were in the theater room.
So they're probably in the movie theater room somewhere.
Yeah, I saw them on the couch last in there.
Wait, what's at the top there or the bottom?
The bottom couch.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Sorry. You have, I don't know what these kids would do without me, you know it. I lose everything for myself. I think I hide it from myself. It's a little game I like to play, apparently. But if something happens to me, nobody's going to know where anything is. It's going to be so fun to watch. Anyway, sorry. You're welcome.
Yeah, and Marley was laying on there with all last night.
Oh, Marley was laying on them?
Yeah, I didn't even
Good
know.
grief, that girl.
I was looking all over there. Where are them? I was the living room, the movie room, and my room.
Well, just come ask me. I know where everything's at. Besides my stuff.
I love you.
I love you too. Sorry. Marley's our dog, by the way. Anyway. So this Hermit here, this is Virgo energy. So Virgo could actually be important here for some of you. But this is about, I feel like this may have something to do with you overthinking something. Like fate is on your side here. Like give yourself a break. Fate is on your side. And you may just be overthinking, overanalyzing something, needing to come out of that. You have a Queen of Wands in the reverse, and then you have an Ace of Cups here. So for some of you, this may have something to do with their relationship. You may be overthinking about how someone feels or how someone's thinking or acting or what they're doing. You have this. Let's keep going. Hold on. Sagittarius there for me. This Six of Wands. Judgment in reverse. What? Scorpio energy's there too. Why is the Hermit here in reverse? Yeah, this has to do with I think this has to do with the relationship. But you have the Knight of Cups there in reverse, the Queen of Wands in reverse. There's the Five of Pentacles. There's this. I don't know if this is you or someone around you. Okay, so take it how it resonates. But someone here, I feel like, is overthinking. Like you being with someone else and going in a different direction or leaving them out in the cold. There's a lot of like very uncomfortable feelings with the Queen of Wands being in reverse. She comes across as very insecure or jealous or just like very angry or frustrated or upset. You know, she can act out when she's upset. I have a feeling that you may be feeling like someone else is doing things or saying things or acting a certain way because of a feeling left out in the cold. This could even be your energy. You know, you could be feeling that way, like because you're angry for being left out in the cold. So take it how it resonates. If this is you thinking about someone, I don't think that that's the case here at all. But if this is you, and you're feeling this way, I think it's actually coming more from anger than anything else. If you are acting out in any kind of way, I think it comes from a place of feeling hurt and abandoned. But I don't feel like this is true. I feel like this whole thing is like an illusion of something that you're telling yourself. And it's almost like you're getting yourself worked up. That's what it really feels like. It feels like you're getting yourself really worked up about maybe someone or something that's not necessarily the reality of what is. Because this overthinking with the Hermit and the Knight of Cups. That Ace of Cups is there. What is that about? The Nine of Wands in the reverse. This is like the feelings that you feel, or even the idea of maybe someone starting over, starting something new with that Ace of Cups is overwhelming. There's this feeling of giving up on a relationship, or giving up, that you feel like there's this, either someone's given up on you, or you're needing to give up on this relationship. But again, all of these ideas that you're having are coming from overthinking the situation. I don't feel like it's what's reality. And I think that's really why Spirit's giving you a heads up here. I do feel like that fate is on your side, and it says, I catch a break. It's just like the net, and she uses that net to pull the sailors down to the depths of their, of their fate. This is like anxiety pulling you down to the depths of your fate. So if you're reacting over something that you think is going on, and you don't have like solid evidence or proof, this can be like basically like a sabotaging energy. And I'm not sure if this is someone that you're dealing with, or if this is your energy. So, but this is telling me that it's, yeah. Why is this a Six of Wands here? The Three of Wands in the reverse. There's a lot of feelings that you feel here, or someone's feeling about what you're expecting, or what you're anticipating is going on. And there's this very like public Six of Wands. So I don't know if there's like spying going on here, or maybe, or something to that nature. It's just like, I'm saying like a lot too, which is annoying me. I don't know why that is, but maybe you do. I don't know. Someone does. But it's the whole point of this reading, though, because I keep saying like, and it's not real. It's like this, it's like that, but it's not factual. So you have this Six of Wands is whenever you're facing the crowd, and you feel really good about yourself, and you're out there, and you're in the public, and you're, either you're seeing someone like this, or they could be seeing you like this. But that Three of Wands is kind of expecting the worst from someone. Again, overthinking. Why is the Judgment here in reverse? The Temperance in reverse. It's building up the Temperance. It's starting to boil the water. You know what I mean? This idea of this. It's starting to make you, maybe even making you mad or madder. Or this Judgment in reverse. You may be feeling like someone's blaming you, or you have a lot of judgment on you, or something seems very unfair. And it's building your emotions in the worst way. This is why this is such a heads up here. Is this like, what's real about this, really? I mean, what actually are the circumstances? the Star in reverse, Aquarius energy, the Eight of Swords, yep, and the Empress in reverse. There's a feeling of you losing hope, and this Eight of Swords is this whole spread. This feeling of you being like so pessimistic and losing hope is leading to this self-imprisonment where you're keeping yourself stuck, and you're telling yourself, you know, with this Empress in reverse, that you're not capable of, you know, growing anything from this or doing anything about this, or that it's not worth the energy or not worth the time. You know what I mean? Why is the Star here in reverse? Libra, Taurus is there too. Yep. Two of Cups. This has to do with a relationship, being pessimistic about a relationship. Why is the Eight of Swords here? The Page of Pentacles in the reverse. It's making you procrastinate. You're keeping yourself stuck from learning a lesson or having a new beginning, or someone's, you know, like holding themselves back because of the image or the idea of what they're building in their head here. It's building and creating a fear. You have a Ten of Wands in the High Priestess. This is exactly the reading right here. Right here is the reading. The High Priestess is the unknown. It can be when you're trying to listen to your higher self, but with the Ten of Wands, that would be like so difficult. There's a part of you here where you're putting a lot of weight on you. You're putting a lot of responsibility on you, a lot of burden on you that doesn't need to be there, simply because you're in this place of the unknown. So I don't know if someone's like basically perhaps kept you, like you're not feeling good. So I don't know if there's someone here that has kept you in the dark, or that you feel like there's just heavy burden of not knowing what's going on with this person, not knowing what's going on. You know, this may not be a relationship. It could be a contract, not knowing what's going on with this contract. But I do feel like for most of you, this is definitely has to do with love. But take it how it resonates. But you do have the Nine of Cups, the Two of Cups, and the Ace of Cups here. So, so what is the heads up? I mean, this is the heads up, is that you're overanalyzing and it's causing destruction. So what's the advice here on this for pile 3? The King of Pentacles in reverse. I heard take a step back in my head. Take a step back. The Moon in reverse, and get out of the illusion. Take a step back and release yourself from the illusion that you're carrying around. Just think to yourself, what if it isn't that way? And I'm not talking about things that you know for facts that someone has done or said or did or whatever. I'm talking about you being in your head thinking the worst case scenario, and then making sense of it, of why that would be the case. You know, you're making sense of the worst case scenario, and it's just telling you to give yourself a break. I catch a break. Fate is on your side here. Time is also on your side here. I don't think that it is anything of what you're as far stretched or as worse as what you actually are thinking. Cancer and Capricorn, Pisces. You have a Knight. Look, there's the Ten of Swords. And there's the Knight of Pentacles. This could actually lead to your own sabotage here. Some of you, there's like this opportunity or a message or something here you could be procrastinating because you are in your head so much. Why is the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse? It's making you not feel confident at all. Yeah, the Fool, about taking a risk. It's going to set you back. It could set you back. Why is the Moon here in reverse? The Nine of Pentacles. Think about where you are. Think about what you have. Think about how far you've come. Think about what could be. Not the worst case scenario. It's okay to prepare yourself for that. But taking a risk involves having faith. And if you don't have any faith, that's what keeps you from achieving things, going for things. You don't know until you try, kind of thing. That kind of thing. So the Knight of Pentacles, when he's in reverse, with that, especially that Ten of Swords, it's telling me that this could ultimately, this fear that you're holding on to, or this anxiety, or this illusion that you're creating in your head, can lead to your self-sabotage here. This Knight of Pentacles is like whenever he's definitely determined and loyal and committed to his journey and to taking action and doing what's best or what's needed to be done. But when he's in reverse, he's, let's just say, too worried or too, maybe even too determined to, there's just too much. It's just too much. And he definitely doesn't have patience, it can be impatient or solely focused on one direction, that he can't see the other opportunities around him. All that kind of stuff can lead to this Ten of Swords here. What if it's not the way that you think it is? What if it's a different way? What could that be? What is it really? The situation. What is it really? The Four of Pentacles. The Page of Cups in the reverse. The King of Wands. It's not telling me the other side of the energy. It keeps going back to your energy. It's not telling me what the other side is. Why is that? Why is that? Why is it not telling me? The King of Cups. I think one reason is because a lot of it depends on you. But the other thing is that you may be dealing with somebody here also that's very like emotionally mature or stable, to where they're not very, well, let me describe. King of Cups is Scorpio energy, but it's when you get to the point to where you don't show a lot of your emotions. He's very hard to read. He does have the capacity to be very emotional and love, but he doesn't just freely give that away to everyone. He's very secure in who he is and knowing the right time and opportunities. And so you could be dealing with somebody like this. That's why I'm not being able to kind of connect with their energy, is because maybe that's why you're in the way that you are, is because you're thinking the worst, because you can't read this person in some way. Holding back, being afraid of expressing yourself emotionally is something that's here. Y'all remember the roles can be switched here too? Since we're talking about someone. Why is the Four of Pentacles? Yeah, that Five of Cups in the reverse. That's moving on. Why is the Page of Cups in the reverse? The Knight of Swords in the reverse. This is feeling like you're not ready, or I don't want to say ready. It's feeling like you don't feel secure enough in your own emotions to take some sort of action here. Like you're holding back out of, it's not out of, it's about feeling insecure about your emotions or the other person's emotions. And so that's why you're holding back and not taking any kind of action here. That's not a swords in reverse. I feel like this is also like not wanting someone to move on or not wanting to move on. Why is that King of Wands here? Yeah, I look death in reverse as I say that. That's repeating a cycle. That's Scorpio energy, and Leo's there too. This is not wanting to move on from something, or someone having a hard time moving on from something. You could be having a hard time moving on from something that was said or done. Maybe some sort of reaction here. But the King of Wands is taking action. And death in reverse could be taking action towards, yeah, Page of Wands. The Seven of Pentacles. This is like reliving a cycle. This really does feel like somebody, instead of taking action because they don't feel emotionally secure enough to take that action because of the ideas and over analysis that's been going on, not feeling secure enough to take any kind of action here. So like planning and waiting for something to transpire on its own, or giving something an adequate amount of time. That's the plan. That's the idea. That's what this is resulting in. The Eight of Pentacles in reverse. Taking a step back. So let's get this straight. Yeah, you have an Emperor there. The Six of Pentacles in reverse and the Eight of Pentacles in reverse are telling me that you're making a choice, or you feel like the best case scenario would be to pull back from a situation and kind of just take a break, or take, rest. Which is, I catch a break here. So you're identifying with the fact that you're overthinking about something, and all different kinds of the worst case scenarios possible. There may be somebody here that you are dealing with that is unpredictable, or you feel like they're unpredictable because of the circumstances. You may feel like they feel left out in the cold. They may have left you out in the cold. There's just this feeling of not getting what you need from that person to be able to emotionally feel stable. Enough at least to take some sort of action or move forward in a situation. Although there is this love that's here, it's like a relationship that has become too overwhelming or too difficult to think about. All the, worst case scenarios of what could be going on, possibly during this break, if you're away from this person. Some of you, this may have to do with work. Like, during a break when someone is giving to something else work-wise. Anyway, so there is this fear of the unexpected because someone else may be like either in the spotlight or like they may be going out or something, or I don't, that 6 of Wands can look like that for some of you. This could just be, you know, because of what you're seeing. Like this could be what you see online or what you hear from someone. Of course, we all know that that's not realistic, right? But whatever it is, that's like the only thing that you may have to compare or to do. If you're doing some investigative work about this person, that's like all you can see is what they like post or put out there, you know, with that 6 of Wands being there. But it's just not what you were expecting, or something to do with that. It's not what you were expecting. Anyway, I don't want to get too far stuck on that. I think that as this goes more and more, you're starting to get frustrated, perhaps even with maybe judgment that's been placed on you through this person or through others, or the idea of this person placing some sort of judgment on you. Like there is this huge imbalance, emotional imbalance, and feeling of feeling judged that's here. But I think the break that you're looking for is the break that you need to give yourself about the situation. Because I think that you're basing everything that you see and hear off of the unknown. With that High Priestess and that 10 of Wands, it's like you're creating your own weight of burden through this anxiety that you feel about the worst case scenario or possibilities of what's happening. It won't tell me a lot about this other person's energy. I think it's because they are coming in as someone that is perhaps maintaining a sense of emotional stability at this time, to where they're kind of held back and they're not really giving a lot. They're really more kept to themselves. Let me see if I can get anything else from this other person's energy, because they only gave me that one thing. What else can I get from this other person's energy that's here? Can you give me something else? The 5 of Swords. So they are still confused or conflicted about the situation. Or they may feel, yeah, there's just the Hanged Man. They're trying to look at a conflict, or trying to look at it like they feel like they're maybe in this King of Cups because they feel like they're having to look at this betrayal or conflict or chaos or confusion or disagreement, fight, whatever this is with this 5 of Swords, a lot of chaos here. They feel like they're having to look at this in a way that is difficult, and I think that they are stuck on this. They're stuck on this. For some of you, this could be a betrayal. What is this 5 of Swords? It's the 8 of Pentacles in reverse. Something is a lot of intense emotions and hurtful emotions. And so they're having to look at it, and I think that brings a lot of stress, having to think about it, and they feel as if they just need to take a break or take a step back. They're really stuck on why something occurred or processed in the way that it did. Why perhaps something came to a halt or wasn't working. The Emperor. This is someone that's trying to understand or stabilize why something did not work out or didn't play out in the way that they wanted. King of Swords. They're just trying to make sense of, they're trying to understand and make sense of it. The Seven of Swords. I don't know if there was a betrayal here or this can be like someone trying to be strategic at how they approach a situation because that Five of Swords is there. See, this is why they didn't want me to get too far into this person's energy, because now I'm focused on them and this, and I've gotten off of you here, which the reading is supposed to be about you. And it's maybe what you're having a hard time with this right now, you know, is that needing to think about or just focus on you and where you are, building your confidence up here. Whatever this person's thought process is, they feel like they have it under control. I feel like they're just taking another look at things and trying to understand why something didn't work. I don't know, they're just analyzing things in their head, but they're in a good place with that. I mean, they may also be somewhat focused on themselves at this time. Okay, so anything else that I'm missing here as far as what their heads up here is about this? Strength in reverse. Leo energy. Page of Swords in the reverse. Five of Wands. This is definitely holding you back from being, like, you need to really fight against this. Because I feel like a lot of the things that you may be telling yourself are not necessarily true. With that Page of Swords in the reverse. Yeah, that Ten of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, Justice. And the Knight of Wands in the bottom of the deck with the Hierophant. So, this is overall, to me, it looks like a lesson here on acting before, like acting off of impulse. There's some kind of justice here around the potential or the foundation and the truth of that. The truth of that. The truth of the foundation that was here. The potential of the foundation that was here. And perhaps not being completely honest with yourself about that. Your weakness here could be this Five of Wands, which is outside influences. So this could be like other people telling you things, other people involved in the situation, some kind of interference here. This could be friends, family that are causing insecurities here as well. You have that Four of Swords in the reverse. Yeah. This outside influence is really taking a toll here on this as well. And this is something that you're needing to look at. Whatever this is, like all the things I just mentioned. It's causing you to overthink even more. Look, I'm telling you, luck is on your side here. Like, fate is on your side. But you could be allowing outside influences to affect the situation way more than what it should be. That's the Three of Cups. There's the Queen of Pentacles. There may be, this is not meant to be everybody's story, but there may be someone here that is, this right here, you know what this feels like? It feels like somebody that tells you, like someone around you or something that you hear or see that tells you that you can't have a relationship with someone. You can't, the potential, it's bound to be a disaster with that Ten of Pentacles in reverse. This can also look like believing things that aren't true. I mean, that's what this whole reading is kind of about. Believing things that aren't necessarily true when it comes to a relationship. And that getting in the way. Okay, let's get some advice from here. This reading was a lot to take in, actually. I hope this helps. You know, I hope this makes sense. Be careful about friends and family. What's the word I want to say? Overstepping when it comes to advice, particularly advice that's centered around the destructive side to the situation. You could be putting yourself around someone or something that makes you always look at the worst case scenario, think about the worst case scenario, and you have to understand how to set those thoughts from others to the side, because although we may get good advice from some people, if you're already struggling, if you're already at a place to where you're feeling anxious, you're struggling, you're worried about what's going on that you don't know, you're worried about all these things, and you have someone next to you that is planting seeds of more doubt, planting more fear in you based off of what their experience was and based off of what happened to them that they still haven't healed from, they could be actually projecting all that onto your situation, leaving you in a place of feeling very hopeless. So just be careful of you have to be able to discern what is a good takeaway as far as advice goes and what's not, or even someone to be around and what kind of an influence they're having on you. Yeah. You want to be able to fulfill people in your life that have a way of giving you advice without insisting that it can be one way or another. It's rare, but it's very good when you have a close person that you can trust, that you feel like gives good advice based off of that Libra energy, which is seeing both sides to a situation. So they're not favoring you. They're giving you an idea of looking at something from all angles and not just like the worst angles like some individuals can. But also saying, you know, maybe it could work out. Maybe it could be this way. Anything's like possible, right? Now I can't tell you that whole thing and then say, if you are in any kind of relationship where you feel like that you are like is abusive in any kind of way, get away from it. Get away from it. Get away from it. And I know that's easier said than done. I've been there, and it's hard because we can have family and friends that tell us certain things that we don't want to hear, or we just have to figure it out on our own. In order for us to really wake up to it. But that's not, I don't feel that so much here. I feel like that this is just a situation or circumstance. I don't feel like that there's just like a lot of you that are dealing with anything like that. Okay. I would recommend, though, whatever situation this is, really think about the long-term vision that you feel like that you can gain from the situation, what that really looks like, and what's practical with that. And it may not be practical to have a, romantic relationship with someone, but it could be practical to have a friendship with someone. It's that kind of a situation. With this Queen of Pentacles, you have to figure out, Two of Swords, what it is that you feel comfortable with, what makes you, Two of Pentacles, what makes you feel in balance. Okay, I hope this helps, because boy, this reading just kind of took me away. I wasn't really anticipating a lot of what came out to come out in this reading. I hope it makes sense. I feel like I could stay with it for the most part. This reading feels very I'm getting stuck on your person's energy over here for some reason. If this is someone that somehow or another has done you wrong, then they're trying to change the idea of how they're seeing that. Or at least taking the opportunity to see if they've done, like I can say they are like looking at themselves, but anyway, okay. What advice do you have for pile 3? What advice do you have for pile 3? Y'all had the longer reading. Contract. Spirit contract. What is contract? I kept wanting to say commitment, though, for some reason. 56. Answer the call of your ancestors to connect to the wisdom and receive their support. Number 50. Success. Celebrate success. Be proud of what you have achieved. You struggled long and hard to get to this moment. Yeah. That's another thing that's here, too, as far as fate goes. I do feel like that there's some really good things that are coming in for you. But again, there's this feeling of you can sabotage that very easily. Excuse me, so sorry. It's funny how I said that, though, and then sneezed. They say when you sneeze in a reading, I heard somebody say this, if you sneeze in a reading, that it means that that's the truth, whatever I just said. And I just said that you could sabotage the good things that are coming in or the opportunities by overthinking. Number 1, all in perfect timing. I told you time was really relevant here. This is it. It's time to take action. I will be here to help you every step of the way. Yeah. You taking action is a big part of this. Taking control of stepping into the spotlight, taking control of the situation and not allowing yourself to get too far gone or too far in your head about it, that you kind of paralyze yourself. I feel like I need to get one more. I don't know why, but let's get a moonology. I don't know why I'm doing this, because y'all's reading is so long. New moon in Capricorn. Step up and lead. That's why. Because I just got done talking about that. Step up and lead. I literally just said that. New moon in Capricorn, I'm not sure when that is, but Capricorn season is in December or January, like towards the end of December, beginning of January. That's not very many. So something significant could happen around that time where you may be stepping up and taking control, or things may shift or change for you. You have the remote control, so getting control of a situation could be something that's here. We have SPF, so maybe, you know, buckle down on that sunscreen. It's important. I've had skin cancer, so I'm telling you, it is so important. So wake up call. Take care of your skin. Yeet or be yeeted. You become what you believe. Yep. Yeah, this is your reading right here. You become what you believe. This is what you're doing to yourself in a way, you know, believing in your anxiety as the reality or the truth. We have love is never wasted. Yep. Nope. We have M, O or W, F, S, X, C, K, P, and F. Okay, so I'm going to hold this up so y'all can see it. We have sock right there. May mean something to somebody. Okay, so thanks so much, guys, for being here. Thanks for all your love and support and kindness, of course. I hope this helps. Good luck to you guys, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.